No, I want to get an amount. I don't think we can ever be serious here. But I want to get on somewhat of a more serious note, as we know what is happening now in the world. I was about saying society, but it's actually a world pandemic. The world is going through this crisis at this point in time, the COVID-19 outbreak. I want us to just see the church and how it relates to the coronavirus. You know, I want us to speak a little bit on that. First question that I want to ask you guys is, should the church close their doors in light of the COVID outbreak? You know, the government has restricted the country to just 10 persons in any group gathering. I think that we are too close.
No, you're right. At least 3 feet.
But yeah, persons are saying that the church should not close. As a matter of fact, I saw a message. I got a screenshot of someone's message in my WhatsApp since week, where there was someone who was saying that Andrew will not have to go report to God because of what he's causing, what he's saying that the church needs to close. You know, and persons, the church members are not fed as though they should be, and you know, different pastors and church leaders and even church members share the view that the church door should not be closed. We should have church. What do you guys think about it?
I'll start first.
I guess next time I pick Sandra.
Personally speaking, just as how we are activating faith, I think as a church that we should activate wisdom, right? Especially in the Church of God, we have a lot of large congregations. Most of these churches, we have big children churches, right? Now imagine one child has been infected, right? And children love to play, that's one. So I'm playing with Roxanne will play with David, and with the entire children church, you know, affected by this virus. In church, you know, when we have welcome, we say, shake 15 person, and I would normally say shake 15 person's hand, and they can't shake the same person's hand 15 times, right? So imagine now I pass it to somebody else, so the entire, that's just an.
And we have a culture of the touch your neighbor. Right? Slap your neighbor.
So I believe as a church, we should activate wisdom leaders. I do believe that the church should say close.
What do you guys think though, right? What do you guys think about that?
We've been hearing a lot of that, and a lot of the comments that we've been seeing, they're saying the church is not closed, but the building is closed.
Okay.
And so we need to get away from the mentality that if we don't come to church, then we can't have church. And so there are too many persons who are socialized to believe that if I'm not in the building, then I'm not at church. We have to use wisdom. And we have to understand that the church is a public gathering. And so if we want to ensure the safety of the nations, people, our elders, and our children, then we have to abide by the stipulations that are given out by the government. They are not saying stay home because they don't want people on the road. They're saying stay home because we're looking out for your best interest. And you have persons who they don't practice proper hygiene. So that is the reality of it. And so people will come to church and they go to the bathroom and they don't wash their hands and they come back in church. And like I said, Pastor loves to touch your neighbor or greet somebody. So we have to use wisdom in this. So I am all for the building being closed and we take the church to the internet. Thank you, technology.
Yes.
I went to 7 churches on Sunday.
Oh yes.
I've never gone to 7 churches before.
This is active member.
I went to 7 churches because one service finished and I just felt led to go find another church that is live streaming, and I watched that service and believe me, I got something out of all these services. So I don't have to be in a physical building to feel as though I'm worshiping God. Just last night, the entire youth department of the New Testament Church of God, we were all in Power Fridays, right?
Oh yes, I was there.
So, like Sanjay says, wisdom.
Yeah.
And so we have to think about our children, think about our elders, and think about ourselves.
Wow. Truly a mouthful, eh? Yes. So, just as how Sanjay and Roxanne had put it, it's really using wisdom in this time, and it is really in the best interest for everybody. We don't want to put anybody at risk, and that's how the government really put it out there, because people will become scared and but you don't want to act out of ignorance really, because that will lead to greater trouble. So it really is a regulation that was put in place to safeguard the nation. Stay home, avoid the big masses, and follow them. I mean, the Bible puts it, those who are sitting in authority over you, which is really the government in the land. So just obey it and live by it.
And it's not contradicting.
Exactly. So, go by it.
So very good, guys. But do you think that this though might have a negative impact on the church? And I'm just playing the devil's advocate here by saying that, persons out there are saying that by closing the church door, we are saying, guess what? The church doesn't have faith, to pray against these things. As a matter of fact, I've been seeing various posts on the internet where persons are saying, we are the healers now, the persons who have been healing people.
Yeah.
Where are they now? Persons are screenshotting various church saying to their members, you need to still tithe and give your offering, and they will give the stipulation as to how you do so at this time. So more of the church business that probably would have discussed among just members in the church on a Sunday, it now becomes a public thing. Do you think this has a negative impact on the church, or how do you think it affects the church?
I don't see, but let me not say that. I see a positive side to this thing. Reason being, there are several of us who we get dressed on Sunday mornings and we go to church, and that's the most our neighbors know of us as Christians.
Yeah.
What I see an opportunity here now is for us to speak to our neighbors, for us to minister or witness to our children, for us to witness to family members who are not Christians. So you can't get up on a Sunday morning and get dressed and run to church because you don't want to communicate with the people in your home, so you don't want to communicate with your neighbors. Even Uncle Leslie said it last night, that this now is an opportunity for us to witness to those who are around us in our circle, because on a regular day, you get up, you go work, by the time you come back it's dark, you go in your house, you lock up. You have the opportunity now to witness to somebody. Witness to your neighbor, the young man that you always pass down the road that you don't normally say anything to him. You see him passing your gate, you can actually stop the same 3 feet, whatever them say, and you have a conversation. So let us use this time positively. I mean, persons will say what they want to say. Whatever the church does, we will face criticism.
Yeah.
That is one thing that we cannot escape. The church will face criticism. So right now persons are saying, oh, we lack faith and we lack whatever and whatnot. And I say, no, we don't lack faith, but this is us choosing another opportunity to minister the gospel, to share the gospel in another way. And frankly, the church needs to come out of the building sometimes. And so this is an opportunity for us to really take the church out of the building and take the church into our homes. Because you have some mothers who get up a morning time and dress come church and they pity them still in the bed asleep. That could not be a pity because my grandmother went me up. You have to get up and go to church. So use this opportunity, use this time to share the gospel of Jesus Christ with those in your circle.
Yeah. David.
Well said. Really and truly, the impact is severe in the sense where people were used to a particular setting, but in agreement to Roxanne's response, it is really like a time now for a lot of reinforcement. Why I chose the word reinforcement because, as she explained earlier, there are the homes that are not so strong.
Yeah.
A lot of broken homes, a lot of
relationships that are outside the church that are broken, and now's a time where you can use to mend those areas. Bringing the church in your home, yes, as she said, other people, they get up and they make it a routine to come to church every day. But what about Master Joe? What about Brother Dane? What about those people who probably living in the same tenement yard we live in, who you don't talk to? Now it's a great opportunity for you to really impact those lives. Worse them are not Christian. You understand? And people question, oh yeah, I want to go still reach people in this time. We can still reach people in this time by not being within the four walls. Because really and truly, the whole mandate and responsibility of a Christian is to go out. Exactly. We're supposed to go out. I know that we're out there, not inside the four walls. It's a good opportunity for us to take up on that ground.
Yeah.
You understand? So the impact for the physical building, yes, you may not be coming here. You may not can tithe the way you tithe or collect offering. If I should be probably even stretch a little bit and even speak about the photograph, if you guys saw that was going around, that was issued by a particular church. We won't call it church name. And they were saying, still depositing the tithes and still depositing the offerings. The public might be saying, why, yeah man, church greedy and, church want people money and, but,
you still have to pay liability.
You understand? So these things are things that we have to look into. You understand? How else will something function if it's not given what is needed for it to function? And so we have to just be mindful of these things and don't use just out of ignorance or arrogance, but use wisdom in this time.
Yes.
You understand? And that's really good on that part.
Sanjay, would you like to add to what they have said?
Well, the first thing that I saw with this question is that it's not that the church is lacking faith. The first thing is that the church is actually being obedient. Right? We are following the government.
Yeah.
Right? The second thing, there are many persons, you see from the outside looking in, persons will always talk. That is something that I've learned. Right? If you're not in the church, you are going to say, church, hypocrites, they're liars, and they want people that you name it. And people will say everything about the church. But I have come to realize that there is, even though people might say negative, there's a lot of positive to this. Last week we were here in a group, and persons actually were Christians. They said they did not realize that having church with their family was such a blessing.
Yeah.
And when I saw that, it said to me that there are many families who are not having devotion. True. That is one thing that I get from it. Also, it shows us that even though we don't intentionally do it, but there are a lot of things that become our gods. Sports, entertainment, champs, carnival. Because many persons were cut up about carnival.
Christians as well?
Best believe Christians as well, right? And so this now gives us the opportunity to really focus on God, right? Yes, it might be negative on the economy, yes, it will be, but this now, it helps people actually to grow. Family members, people are having church, people are, even the life, even we're going to get to that, I believe, but I see it as a positive impact for the church.
So we recognize now from what we are hearing that there are various positive swing to this thing, and even though we have heard so many things coming out from on social media and so on, but one of the things that I want to ensure that we understand that we are Christians, and there's never a time in the history of the church when she has never come under persecution from the world. The world will oppose the church, and I think that sometimes we have to be careful of when we are trying to meet the requirements of the world. The world will oppose the church, the world will find fault in everything that the church does. The church cannot go down to JPS and pray a prayer, and JPS says, okay, you don't have to pay in a light bill. The church cannot go to water commission and pray a prayer, and the water commission says, okay, no water bill this month. The church have these things. The church have staff to pay. The church have some of the community responsibilities, because a lot of churches are supporting our community. Not because we're not operating like some corporate companies where we are going on the television and telling you everything that we are doing. But behind closed doors, the church is doing a lot for some people, for some families, and so on in the communities. Right? Some churches are operating as a community center, where the community come and use internet service and so on. Now, how do you expect these bills are paid? You know, so when churches are asking members to tithe and to send their offering, it's because the church still have an obligation to cover at the end of the month, just like anywhere else. Alright? So let us be mindful and let us be careful as to how we are saying these things. Also, we have recognized from what the guys have said, that it is important that we see the value in family, and probably this is showing us a lot how important family time is. And also, guys, what I'm recognizing, a lot of our churches that have pages on YouTube, on Facebook and other social media sites, we recognize that it's not just the members of the church that are following, but you have members in the community. Because even my church Facebook page, and majority of those who are on that page, they are members of the community and members who are living abroad and so on. You know, so I have unsaved that are on our Facebook page. So when we post, when we post a live video of our service on the social media platform, what we are doing is we are exposing this now. We are reaching a broader section of persons. We are reaching more, you know, than what we probably would have reached, because most of those who are probably friends or followers on the social media side, they are not in church every Sunday or on Sundays. Some of them are living abroad, they are living all over the place. You know, but because they know that this church is the church that I grew up in, this church is the church in my community, let me like it. So they will watch the live and they will participate in the worship, and who knows, they just might be converted. So these are just different avenues that we, the church, are just being strategic and applying godly principles in spite of the dilemma that is happening in society. Guys, so what are your personal theology on this issue now? Seeing what is happening in the world, everything that is happening, what's your personal view on it, and your personal theological view? What do you think God is up to? What do you think is happening from a spiritual perspective?
Well, in my opinion, we know that God is a very powerful God, right? He can allow things to happen, and He can put a stop to it. Now, since this disease, COVID-19, right, we have seen where many nations have literally come on natural TV and said the only person that we can look to right now is God. We see, for example, Trump. He came on national TV with his Bible, literally. He said, my mother gave me this when I was small. He printed my name on it. And even Trump said, this virus needs to go down because every church must be filled with people Easter Sunday. So, and you realize that councilmen, it's funny, but he came and he said it. You realize now that councilmen are saying, listen, there are some countries that the only person that we can look to right now is God, right? And so, in my opinion, you can say I don't know, but based on what I'm seeing, many nations now are turning to God. You even see where persons, one of the councilmen in America said that, we took the Bibles out of school, we need to turn back to God, right? So I am saying, basically, if God wanted this to stop, He would have, right? But I think it is allowing countries now to realize that, hey, He does exist. And if He wants, whatever He wants to do, He can do it. So, He's God.
Wow.
The outbreak is another one. We've had several that we could name up.
Several disasters.
Yeah, several. And it is really, how can I put it now? We don't want them to just run now to God, like, say, boy, God, we need him this time, and, in the bad times, because that is what is happening, really. But
you're hoping that
we want this to be a genuine thing for people, not to just we're having a pandemic and people stressed out and we're all running all over the place, but if it is indeed that we recognize that, it is something that is out of our human control and we're seeking for God, then let it be a genuine thing. But really and truly, what can
but it should be a genuine confession and repentance.
Exactly.
And part of the movement.
That is
so you're not just turning your life over to God because of the issue, but because you have recognized that you are insufficient and that God is all sufficient. So you're giving your life to God for the fact that He is God.
That is right.
Okay.
That is right. We don't want it to just be a run come up thing, like a hurry come up thing. You understand? Yeah. So this is going to be your move. It's supposed to be a poured out, genuine, sincere move.
Amen.
You understand? That is what it
is. In all of this, I agree with Dermaine that your move to say, let us look to God, it needs to be something that is genuine. It's not just let us look to God in this moment. So all the countries that are now saying, okay, let us call upon the name of Jesus. I was reading just this morning of a country over that side of the world where the president actually came out and said, we've wronged God all these years and we've wronged the church because we've banned public preaching and we've banned the sharing of God's word, and He's allowed them to come out. And I'm saying, yes, that is a good thing, but is it just because you want to say, let us see the magical powers at work move right now?
Exactly. So it's like a bribe guy.
Yeah, bribe guy.
I'm going to give you a Bible in school, and you start the Bible.
You start the Bible. So even with this, he's got the whole world challenge. And I posted on my Instagram that persons need to not miss the message of that song. Because what I believe is happening right now is that in all of this, God has everything in His hands. He has the world in His hands. So we've been talking and we've been saying disasters happen. They've been equating this to SARS. They've been equating this to the polio disease. They've been Ebola. They've been equating this to so many things. And it's just to show that this is just another pandemic or epidemic that we have to deal with. Am I going to say this is end time? I don't know. Am I going to say this is God punishing the world? I don't know. But my belief is that with all that is happening, God is in control.
So you have heard pretty much that God is in control in spite of. And for me, this season has really is one that is teaching me personally, and also I think it should be teaching the world humility. It should bring us to a place where we recognize that, hey, you see, humanity, we're frail, we are frail. And today, just like 2019, we have an ordinary year where everything alright, everything good, the regular little problem, you broke today, you get a partner join next week, and you're good again. And in 2020, bam, everybody January, man, in 2020 is my year. I get this my breakthrough, I get my deliverance, the Lord told me that this is my year. And then March happened.
What happened?
And it's like, it's just said to me that, guess what? We can be planning our lives. We can be doing all of these things. We can be hoping for the best. And then anything can step in the middle of it. So it just shows that as human beings, we really don't have as much control that we think we have. So it should bring us now to humility, where we humble ourselves before God and recognize that He is sovereign and I am just a human being. I am a frail human being who is in need of a sovereign God. In all of this, that is what? That should be our response. That we need God. Whether the sickness come at the door or not, you should recognize that I can be living my life, everything is good today, and tomorrow out of the blue something just happens, bam, and we are a mess, life becomes a mess. So I'm saying to you, please, it is important that you recognize that, humble yourself before God, understand that that God is most important in all of this. Right? God Almighty is still in control, as Roxanne said. No sickness, nothing at all that is happening in this world can really affect the hands of God on our lives and what He's doing. So just cool, man, and understand that God has us, right? And our response should be one where we serve God even deeper. You know, for the Christians, our aim should be going deeper in God and strive for more of God. And for those who are not Christian, you should recognize the value of God and run to give your life to Him.
You know, I was listening to an international preacher, and he was saying that this time when the churches are closed, it's going to show the depth of the shouting that we do in church on Sunday and the running up and down that we do in church. How many of us are going to survive not being able to gather on Sunday to express the emotions that we believe people need to see, to say, yeah man, that's a good Christian.
So the time is only on Sunday. It is on Monday to Saturday. That's it.
So Christians, let us go deeper in God in this time. Unsaved, find Jesus Christ at this time. You need Him. Right? Thank you for watching another episode of the church. And this, of course, is our session of Chit, Chat, Chill, where we sit down and we talk about various issues that is affecting our country, our culture. Thank you for watching. We have Sanjay, we have Roxanne, we have David, and of course, I am Dermaine. I just want to say, remember to like, remember to share, remember to comment, and remember to subscribe to this channel, a relevant and applicable channel for our young people in this time. God bless you.